My famous historical speech is about the famous Marcus Messiah Garvey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here to deliver my famous historical speech. It's about the late Marcus Messiah Garvey, who was Jamaican. Marcus Garvey was Jamaican-born black nationalist and leader of the Pan-Africanism. This work would set the stage for his activism later in life. Marcus Garvey created UNIA, United Improvement Association, United Negro Improvement Association. This group was to create pride in ethnicity and color of people in the world. It mainly supported African Americans. Marcus Garvey wanted to let people know that African Americans are still Americans. He was being regarded as a leader of the largest organized mass movement in black history and the progenitor. Marcus Garvey's abstract is one God, one aim, one destiny. The religious response to colonial power in the United States in the early 20th century. This paper provides religious analysis of Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Movement, UNIA. Outside of previous religious interpretations that utilize normative religious categories, that is, eschatological, ecclesiastical, and theological dimensions of Garveyism. This paper utilizes a methodological approach that is comparative in nature and focuses on the rise of European colonizing as a religious and material context that gave rise to Marcus Garvey and his movement, utilizing methodologies from history of religious approaches. Marcus Garvey is analyzed akin to a cargo movement prophet who created rituals, costumes, and deployed colonism symbolism to reconcile the new humanizing effects of colonialism, and to point to a new mode of existence for followers of UNIA. Marcus Garvey was arguably one of the most dynamic persons to emerge during the New Negro movement. In order to understand the full scope of the dynamics of his charisma, voice, and vision, it is first necessary to contextualize the socio-historical influences on his consciousness. This chapter begins with such contextualization and outlines the general vision he had for his organization. It then moves to an analysis of the debates between Garvey and Du Bois, which marked the 10th century experience of being a problem, and their solutions to solve the problems of racial signification. It concludes with an examination of previous interpretations of the religiosity of Garvey in order to establish the argument of the thesis, which is a comparative approach using current literature on cargo movements and Garveyism. Marcus Messiah Garvey was born in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica in 1887. His mother intended to name him Moses because she hoped he would be like Moses to lead his people. However, his father prevailed and named him Marcus after himself. He determined his son's middle name would be the less prominent biblical name of Messiah. In 1909, Garvey printed his first newspaper called Garvey's Watchman, which ceased publication only after 3 issues, from 1910 to 1912. Garvey traveled around Central America, living and working in both Costa Rica and Panama. While in Costa Rica, Garvey worked as a timekeeper on a United Fruit Company, banana plantation, and as a laborer on the pier of Port Limon. Garvey became increasingly aware of the troubles faced by West Indians and non-white laborers. He edited the paper La Nación, which pointed to the effectiveness of unions to rectify the issues of racism, economic discrimination, and unequal pay. Garvey agitated laborers on banana plantations to fight for better working conditions, which resulted in Garvey's expulsion from Costa Rica. In 1912, at the age of 25, Garvey traveled to England. Garvey worked around the docks of London and gained a wealth of information about the suffering of Africans and West Indian seamen. While in London, Garvey was involved in literary endeavors and wrote articles for Deuce Muhammad Ali's paper, Africa Times, and Orient Review. This journal combined a Pan-African outlook and covered news in areas where colonialism flourished, such as China, Persia, Turkey, and Egypt and Morocco, also the West Indies and the United States. The journal also tracked anti-colonial movements and the struggles of colonized people around the world. Black intellectuals such as W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Edward Wilmot Blyden, and William Ferris regularly published in the journal and articulated different perspectives on solutions to the problems facing the African American community. Garvey's articles primarily focused on the issues and concerns of black laborers in the West Indies. I thank you. Thanks for listening attentively and keenly. I do thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Yay! That was nice. It was good.
I made a few errors.